Hi, welcome to the flip through of my latest Grungy journal. So as you can see, the cover is just layers and layers. I've got underneath is a hardback book with a new spine, and I have painted it and just added layers of fabric, and I think there's card under there, there's a doily under there, then there's this vintage paper, vintage photo, and a cluster here, flowers, dangles, buttons, daisies. On the spine I've added this little cluster of vintage doily and some burlap, I think you call it, and some more of this muslin. The back has been tied and glued and just looks, now you can see a bit more of the book. There we go. And a little grungy heart that I've hand stitched down here, and it's quite padded, so it just feels yummy. This is what she looks like. She does stand up quite nicely. She's got a, oh, I didn't do the sizes, did I? I never do the sizes. She is 6 by 7.5, and she has a roughly 3-inch spine. I've held her closed with the little bulldog clips and a piece of Hessian string just to, you know, keep in theme. So when we go inside, I've added fabric. This is coffee dyed paper behind there. Got my title, grungy little tag embossed. This page is a tip-in like this. It's got, oh, hang on, that's the other side. It's got a grungy tag inside with some writing space on the back from an old index card. This is attached, it is attached with more than this, but I've used some of this muslin. I just thought it looked really nice. Just a piece of writing paper, some staples to be grungy, just went to town. Old dressmaker's fabric. Oh, why do I call it fabric? It's dressmaker's paper. If I do it again, just insert the word paper. Little booklet with some writing space inside. Vintage book page. Brown paper page. Ruffle with strings. Have I got, oh, I need scissors. Don't want that dangling. And inside there you've got another grungy tag that you can do yourself, make something with. This is gel printing. That's the original, I think. I can feel all the paint. It's a vintage book page here. There is so much vintage ephemera in this, like original vintage ephemera. Like tucked into this layered up book page pocket, which we've done in a previous video. I've got a tag and a vintage map page. I think I had to fold it because it didn't go in. So this is an old letter that I have printed onto the coffee dyed paper. There's lots of stamping, and this could actually be a tuck spot if you wanted it to be. Another letter. These are original letters. I've just scanned them and printed them out onto coffee dyed paper. This is some of my attempt at what do they call it, eco dyeing. I've used like washers and screws and things like that, rusted like paper. This is just a flip. I'll just decorate it up. One of my scruffy windows. I love these. And this is just brown paper. I've got a belly band there holding this vintage book page of an old English pub. I've just backed it for writing. Love this little cluster. I think somebody sent me this and I've got a feeling it was Cheryl. So I finally used it. You know what it's like? You get your stuff and you don't want to use it. Some more vintage ephemera here. This is from, somewhere in Didcot. And it's got Mrs. Gibson Houting. I can't read it. Uno Bertie's sister and Miss Oddboy. So I don't know which ones they are or who isn't on there. But look at they've all got the hats on. I love it. Bit of fun with that page as well. Now this is made from that dressmaker's paper again, and inside is telegraph thing. I think this is might be another bit of paper, and we've got an old envelope. And this has got like 4 different little pockets. Now you can change that and stick them together for strength. I've left it up to whoever gets the journal. It's a little flip up, and it also, yeah, there we go. I thought it had 2 pages. So you've got little flip up writing pad. You still write underneath as well. So we're on to the second signature, and this is a vintage music book cover. Little dangle. One of my fabric page edges. Just some space for writing. I've left you space for writing. Very unusual for me. Another vintage postcard. This one I've backed with some coffee dyed paper. Another one of my grungy corners. I loved making them. I must make some more. Just some more writing paper. This is an old, just a photocopy onto, like before, onto coffee dyed paper. Vintage book page. It's got a map, original old map made from the map that had all the fibres in it. I don't know when they stopped doing that, probably because it was very expensive. And I've just put a bit of decoration on and put some paper on the back for writing, because you can't write on it. It's fabric. So just pop that back in. This one of my frames, and I've just done a video on these, so hopefully you saw that. If you didn't, I will link it in the description underneath. Super fun to make these. And I thought this had writing there, and I thought it'd be perfect, but there is a space for you to put something behind if you'd rather. Pocket with a vintage book page in. Writing space. I left a bit of writing space in a row. This is held on with a paper clip with a little charm on it. Another little photo. RBD and M. Not quite sure. I think it's something to do with like scouts, because that looks like an old Scouts uniform. This is a completely original letter that was sent from 1980. So I don't know, is that vintage now? It's quite worrying when 1980 is vintage, isn't it? Book page pocket with one of my tags made from stamps. And in there is another vintage book page. You've got your writing board ready to put underneath, so that when you do your writing, you're not going to go through onto all these bobbles that I've added. Scrapbook paper covers this for third signature, and I've just decorated it up. It's just a collage, and I've added some dangles because I wanted to. Stamping, another vintage book page. This one's lovely. It's little folks. I don't know. Look at this. The Man in the Moon. I just think it's really sweet. So that's just tucked onto there. This page, bit of an interactive page. You've got a flap here, and inside is a just flappy pad with some bits of secret journaling. Very hard to get it in from this angle. Come on. Maybe I'll go this way. That'd be easier, wouldn't it? So I've decorated both sides. I think it's a really cool place to put something. Another photo from the, I think it's the same place. It might not be. Don't know. And I've put in some very vintage and lovely coloured, I'm not going to say fabric, paper tissue. I have a video on how you can make all sorts of stuff with that as well. So, yeah, I'll have to link that one now as well. Little booklet made scrapbook paper, scraps, just, oh, mistakes, upside down. It's going in. Vintage book page, there's an Enid Blyton one, and a little butterfly dangle at the bottom. And this is all just fabric page that I've strengthened with some brown paper, which obviously you can write on. This is a very vintage little golden book that I've just added the page just because, and more writing. So another grungy pocket. I love them, love them. And I'm never going to do an ordinary pocket again. Another little scrappy notepad. And take that. You see, you can take these out and write on them. Or pop them in your bag and take them with you if you need to go somewhere and you know you're going to need to write down ideas. Little story there. And little cluster. This is completely pinned on. This is not stitched on at all, so you can take that off. These are very heavy and vintage, as you can tell, so they're quite heavy. But I just thought it needed something. I've got another little flip book. Oh, I'm losing my words. I'm losing my words. And I've just sewn it together like that. So on this page, it's just layers, like music paper, tissue, book page, fabric, gel printing. And this is a heart that I've made out of cardboard, and I've stuck, I think that was tea bag with this on, and I've wrapped string round, just playing. You can do all sorts in a grungy journal. I love it. This is some of my rusty paper playing. You put your memories. More vintage papers, if I can get them off. I've rusted paper clips holding these on as well. Oh, so this is a original book page, and just book page. And I think this was used to have photos in it. So Niagara on the Lake in Canada. So you could make a little booklet out of that yourself. So I'm going to put that's on the other side. And on the back page, you've just got another little book page pocket and another tag. Obviously, can write on that, very grungy. And in there, not grungy at all. Another little tuck space there. So that is my latest grungy journal. As usual, chock-a-block full of original ephemera and lots of grungy goodness. If you are interested in it, it will be in my Etsy shop. Obviously, if you are a member, don't forget you get your discount. And I will see you all very soon, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed the flip through. Bye for now.